Well, this weekend is Cogs and Corsets in downtown Bloomington. I've got Amy O'Neill with me for all things Cogs and Corsets. And Amy, I appreciate the time. We're back again for this year. Are you ready to go for this weekend?
We are. It is year 7 for Cogs and Corsets in downtown Bloomington, and we are excited to come back for another year.
Year number 7. Now, I know last year you were in the BCPA. This year you moved it back outside. So tell me a little bit about that planning to take it back outside and this time down to, what is it, West Monroe Street?
That's right. We're going to be on Monroe Street between Main and Center. We try to move it around downtown a little bit because it is such a large area. So we really want to get people familiar with all the way down to the BCPA and all the way up to the McLean County Museum. So we do tend to move it around downtown a little bit. But Monroe between Main and Center will be our home this year. And that puts us within about a block. So probably the closest everything is all together this year, closer than it's probably ever been. So we're really excited about that.
And you got a big lineup. Let's start with Friday nights. Of course, it's first Friday for downtown. A lot happening just in downtown in general. But what do you have happening for first
There is
Friday?
so much going on downtown for First Fridays. Downtown Bloomington has a June's Tunes theme, so there'll be lots of live music. Several of the shops are doing tea samples and special steampunk sales for us, which we really appreciate. And then our big event for Friday night is the Whodunit Steampunk Murder Mystery at Shake It Up Cocktail Lounge. So Whodunit is the group that often sells out murder mysteries at Room and Mansion. So we're very lucky to have them, and they have written a steampunk murder mystery just for this. So it should be really interactive. Lots of actors there to get you going, finding those clues, and there'll be appetizers by Shake It Up as well as a cash bar. Those are $30, and tickets are still on sale.
Fantastic. Now, quickly as we get through this, what is your website so folks know where to go?
Sure, it is Cogs and Corsets IL as in Illinois, IL.com. So Cogs and Corsets IL.com. You can also find us on Facebook, and the ticket to the links is there as well. Link to the tickets is there as well.
So that's Friday. Let's move on to Saturday. That's like the big event, and as we mentioned, down on Monroe Street, you've got so much going on. We're just gonna run down the list here because I see live music, vendor market, food trucks, games, contest, all that. Let's start with the vendor market. As I walk through that, what am I going to see?
Oh my gosh, we have about 20 different vendors this year. Some are return vendors and some are new. So you're going to see all kinds of things. Artwork, of course. We have someone that's been working really hard on parasols. You'll see crystals. We have somebody that makes steampunk plushies, hats. You'll see all kinds of accessories. Paintings, games. We do have the little art station doing some crafts for kids in the vendor area as well. So there's plenty of shopping to do right in the vendor area on Monroe, as well as all across downtown. The Painted Wraith is right there in front of the vendor market and very in tune with our community.
Indeed, they are. I love that shop. It's
We
always a
do.
great time to go in there. One thing I saw was the Make It Take It Day at the Inside Out Accessible Art Gallery. That seems like a ton of fun. Tell me about that.
It really is. Inside Out has been an incredible partner for a long time, and they really stepped up this year. All of the make and take activities are at Inside Out Accessible Art, and they'll be doing things all day long. You can make necklaces, goggles, hats. We call them make and take because they're basically providing you all the materials to make something. There is a fee, a different fees will vary based on what you're making, but they'll provide everything you need, and then you get to make it and take it with you home. So it's a great way to add some steampunk to your just everyday outfit if you're not dressed up and just dipping your toe into the water of steampunk. Or if you're a full on con veteran, it's a great little local fest thing to be able to do. Inside Out has just been phenomenal, and their artists get really into it. In fact, you can buy a lot of steampunk accessories and art right there at Inside Out. They have a huge display going on, everything from shirts and hats to goggles and jewelry.
That's awesome. And I was looking at the list of some of the stuff you can make, as you mentioned, hats, the mask, the goggles, walking sticks as well, magnifying glass. So that's gonna be a lot of fun.
I think they're even doing a teacup where you can paint your own teacup for more of a display. I don't know that you can use it, but you can decorate your own teacup too, because tea is a big factor in steampunk.
It definitely is. And you have a lot of tea-based events going on. Tell me about some of those.
We do. The big one is a steampunk tea, and that is at Eaton Gallery, the Herb Eaton Gallery. They have also been a wonderful partner throughout all the years. Pam Eaton helped found the event, so we're happy that she is able to still participate. She's combined with Honeydew Acres, and they're going to do a tea serving, nice china, different teas that you can taste, a whole presentation on different types of teas, as well as some poetry readings, all while you're surrounded in the amazing art of Herb Eaton. So that's a ticketed event, and they are almost sold out. So if you don't have your tickets, I suggest you get them today. Otherwise, if there are any seats, tickets will be $20 at the door. But some free tea events that we have are tea dueling that will take place at 11 a.m. at the McLean County Democrats office. They were kind enough to give us some free space this year, which we appreciate. So tea dueling will be back. And as well as Tea Party Bingo that will take place in the afternoon. And both of those are hosted by Christine Holt. She is the founder of the Chicago Tea Scouts. So she's looking to grow her group throughout the state. So if tea is your thing, we definitely recommend you pop by, meet Christine, and do some tea dueling. And then a little bit later, come back and play some bingo for some prizes.
What is tea dueling?
Tea dueling is basically a head-to-head competition. You each have a biscuit cookie that you have to hold in the tea for, I think it's 5 seconds. You pull it out and you see, it's kind of like chicken. You see who can wait the longest before either putting the cookie in their mouth or your cookie falls apart. Uh, so it's quick and fun. Lots of people can play. It's easy, and you can play again and again. So that'll be happening from 11 to 11:45.
That is a lot of fun right there. I've seen it before in your schedule, but I never knew what that was. That's really
Yes, yes. Who's got the most guts? Who thinks their cookie's gonna last the longest?
another person I want to bring up that you have in the schedule is Jason Dean, who is of the Chicago Steampunk Exposition. Who is he, and what is he bringing to the festival this year?
Oh gosh, Jason is just a wonderful person and has been huge in the steampunk community for years. I believe he started out in 2008 with some social media and building the Steampunk Empire is a site. Then he went on to create the International Steampunk Symposium in Cincinnati. That's been taken over by someone else. And he then just recently started the Chicago Steampunk Expo, which is amazing. So Jason has been a steampunk influencer for decades. So we are just thrilled to have his experience, his knowledge, his creativity, and his enthusiasm at Cogs and Corsets this year.
That's impressive. I mean, you're drawing in folks from a wide range, and I know you're not just drawing from Illinois. You do draw from multiple states to this event every year.
We do, we do. We've become a regular steampunk con across the country. We are known, which is amazing, just blows our mind that our little Bloomington event can attract people from all over the country. So we do get a lot from Central Illinois, Chicago, St. Louis, Indiana, but we do pull folks as far as Georgia, Arizona, Ohio, all over. So it's a great, as well as locals. We find our locals really have a great time, especially if they've never heard of steampunk, or they might just come every year to enjoy watching the costumes and letting their kids play some of the games.
And I'll get into the local part in just a second. But as far as seeing it grow to what it is now, could you ever have imagined to know that, Georgia and all around, to see folks coming in as far as they have, to see, just where this has come to now from the first year when you were even planning it?
No, I mean, it was always the dream, of course, but we never really imagined that we would get to where we are. It started out as a simple idea by the downtown artists for a First Fridays theme. And a few of us thought, there's enough. Let's make it a weekend. So we did. And then we just keep fine tuning and growing and growing. So it is, tourism was part of my background and was always a big part of my motivation for having the festival, to have a nice community event that enhanced our local quality of life, as well as a tourism event that generated money for our community and gas, shopping, entertainment. So it's exciting to see some of those goals actually coming to fruition.
Indeed, they are. Now, as far as the local side of things, as you mentioned, you see folks coming in just enjoying it. If somebody's new to town and they're coming downtown, maybe they're just like, "What is going on?" How would you say is an introduction, or what do you say is an introduction to someone just coming to the festival and witnessing steampunk for the first time?
Sure, you're gonna see a lot of amazing costumes. You'll see, of course, hats are a very big deal in steampunk. So you'll see a variety of spectacular hats. So if you have a derby hat that you've recently worn, like for a Kentucky Derby party, wear it. It will fit in perfect for the weekend. You're going to see elaborate outfits. People put a lot of time and effort into creating their characters or just their ensembles. So the costumery is pretty impressive, just wandering around, as well as a lot of the gadgets and gears that you'll see. People make Nerf guns and they steampunk strollers. It's really just quite the phenomenon. So you'll see a lot of interesting gadgets. Again, the whole point of steampunk is kind of mixing the Victorian and industrial era with science fiction. So it can really be just about anything. So you'll see a lot of costumes, hats, a lot of laughter. People just have a really good time. Steampunk is a very inclusive community, and you can steampunk just about anything. So everybody's welcome.
And you talk about those costumes. Jason's going to be hosting a LARPing, an introduction to LARPing.
He is.
Talk
Role
about
playing game is a big passion for Jason Dean. So he has incorporated that into how to build an entire steampunk character. And there are live action role playing steampunk events. We don't necessarily have a game at Cogs and Corsets, but they certainly are popular across the country. So Jason's going to talk a little bit more about how to develop your character and your costumes. It's a real treat.
that is awesome. And you talked about the costumes and so forth as well. You're going to have a pageant, a costume contest.
Sure, our costume contest is probably one of the most popular activities that we have. So, right at noon, lunchtime, there'll be food trucks happening, the vendors going on, live music happening, and the costume contest at noon will really allow people to showcase all the work that they've put in. We have some judges from Chicago, Eduardo and Sarah Questel, who are steampunk veterans and influencers, are coming down to help judge the contest, as well as a few local judges as well.
That's pretty cool. Now, as things begin to wrap up, though, you do have one final event that night on Saturday. It's going to be the Retro Rewind. Tell me about that.
Yeah, Chase Cavalera, DJ Chase, and Olivia Nunez are putting together. They do a retro rewind event often, and it just happened to fall on our Saturday this year. So it's a great place for all of us to gather at the end of the night and just do a little dancing. We joke it's from the 80s. Who cares if it's the 1980s or the 1880s, right? So we're just going to get together, and he does an amazing light show, and it's just a great chance to hang out, get to know people a little bit better, and build some friendships while we dance the night away.
That's really fun. Anything else that I haven't maybe touched on that's in the schedule that you want to highlight?
Let's see. We talked about the presentations and the tea. Oh, Nerf dueling is back. We didn't mention Nerf dueling, so it's going to be also at the Democrats' office downstairs. There will be a photo booth there as well. So lovely backdrop. You can come in and take your own pictures. So no cost. We do try to make as much free as we can. So you can pop in there, do some tea dueling, go downstairs, get your picture, take a picture in front of our steampunk backdrop, and then in the afternoon you can meet up with Eduardo and play some Nerf dueling. So it is actual Nerf guns that you do a duel. So first you air your grievances with each other, and then you pace off and fire. So we get some very dramatic deaths, if you will. It's a lot of fun, and we hope people can really get into it this year.
I was just
Workshops,
gonna
presentations, tea, Nerf dueling, vendors. Oh, live music. We're welcoming back Christopher Corkery. So we're happy to have our local fave, Chris Corkery, back playing for us. We'll have bagpipers to open the day, and the Sweet Nothings are coming this year. So that's new. Another local fave. We're really happy to have Trenton in the group with us this year as the Sweet Nothings. Let's see. We talked about everything, I think, Wes.
I think I would say that is a lot to cover, and that is a lot going on to take in for one day downtown.
I would also throw out that it is also second Saturday sidewalk sales. So all of downtown is just going to be bustling, if you will. Get it? Bustle. So we hope you do come down, take advantage of the second Saturday sidewalk sales. And then there's a free concert on the square. The Hairbangers Ball will be happening downtown free as well. So lots to do.
Yeah, this is all lined up perfectly, and the forecast is looking fantastic as well. It still is. I mean, hey, there is nothing. I'm not going to say the R word anywhere involving, and it's looking great. There's going to be sun.
Right.
and it's looking fantastic. So it's gonna be
We've been very lucky. So we're
yes.
hoping to extend that luck and have another beautiful weekend. We do have some shaded areas this year on near the vendors area with the live music. So if you need to take a seat on a picnic table in the shade for a little while and rest, you can. We also have, like I said, the Democrats office is offering some lounge space. Eaton Gallery will be open just around the corner, and then Inside Out accessible art inside the Fox and Hound building. So it's really great to have everything close by and have some nice respite areas.
Now, one last thing I'll ask is you got this year happening this weekend. Are you already planning next year?
Of course we are. So if you have suggestions, ideas, if you want to be a vendor, a volunteer, a performer, hit us up on our Facebook page or our website. Send us a message. We are definitely planning to be back for 2025.
You can find more interviews at weststyles.com and follow me across all the socials. It's West Styles Radio.